Do Now Think Positive podcast. FendiPendi, creative content coach, and Philip Tan, CEO Snapp Packaging. Do Now Think Positive podcast.
How do you say hello in Malaysian?
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to Do Now
Think Positive podcast.
I am FendiPendi here, your creative content coach, together with my co-host,
My name is Philip Tan. Today we are at a very special event space.
the Timber Space and Bali-inspired event space.
Please click the link below. And we had a very special guest from UK, right? And his name is Mr. Ricky Brown. He's certified in osteopathy and also certified in metabolic coach. So do join us to welcome Mr. Ricky.
Hi, my name's Ricky. I'm a registered osteopath, naturopath, and fitness professional from the UK.
So Ricky, our viewer up there, they are all young entrepreneurs, M40, and they're working like 12 hours or even more. But when it comes to real taking care of their health, they will say next week, next month,
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. And
Tomorrow.
So what would be your one thing that for them say, hey, come on, guys, let's do it now.
I think generally we live in a world that is, most of us live unbalanced lives. We're putting more effort into certain parts of our lives and not really balancing it out, say between our professions and our personal lives and our health. Even our families get neglected because we're so obsessed, especially as men, with productivity and achieving, because we match our status to our happiness. Like if I'm earning lots of money and I've got a good title, then I'll be happy. And a lot of men are realizing that that's not the case now. They're realizing what really provides, kind of satisfaction and health and what we call real happiness, not pleasure. We can all get pleasure, but real happiness is the balance between, their health, their mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, social health, and their profession. And so one thing I would say is, if you're somebody who is putting too much emphasis on one part of your life and you're just saying, oh yeah, health is wealth, we all say that.
Yeah.
Most of my patients say that.
Exactly.
But their lives are completely in opposite of that. So what I will say is write down your values, because we all have values, because values drive our behaviors and our decisions and our beliefs. Write down your values and then ask yourself, okay, am I serving each one of those values? Because more or less guaranteed, one of your values will be good health. And what are you doing to serve that? Aside from making more money and saying one day I will, get healthy and one day I will use my money to be healthy. Most people spend their health making money and then they use their money to try and retrieve their health. So for me, it's like, write down your values and ultimately see where you're misaligned, where your life is misaligned with those values. And also, use health as a KPI. You'll do it with your bank account. You'll do it with your business. What about your health? It's a key performance indicator, because without that, none of this is going to work. And you'll only know that when this is compromised.
Yes.
They say a man with a healthy man has many problems, and an unhealthy man has one problem, right? So it's really about prioritizing and being proactive before you have to be reactive.
Yeah.
So that's my
Yes.
advice.
Ricky, just to be in a layman's, metabolic health seems very complicated.
Oh, I knew you'd ask me this.
Oh, no. That was a good one.
So can you explain it in layman's term, a very simple language for people like me, and how does this metabolic health apply to people like me? Like I'm also very busy, also don't know all these things. Yeah. So how does it apply to me?
Okay, so as I said earlier, your metabolic health in very basic and simplistic terms is how efficiently and how well your body turns energy from food into energy to power your organs, to like I said, power your nervous system, to regulate your body temperature, your heartbeat. Just about every single process in your body relies upon your cells to produce energy. And inside those cells, there are these little things, powerhouses, which called mitochondria. And they're the things that produce the type of energy that our body needs to function. So basically, it's really about just what you put in and what you get out. It's inputs, having quality inputs to get quality outputs. So what was the other part of the question, apart from
how does it apply to people like me? Because I'm sure you're talking about, quality food means pricey food, you know?
Oh,
Pricey
that
food.
that
So how
that
does
chestnut.
normal people like, every breakfast we eat nasi lemak, roti canai, and all these things, kan?
Yeah.
Instead, I don't understand what's showing. Like, we eat healthy food. In our mind, healthy food is pricey food, organic, expensive food. Not everybody can afford it. So how does
Well, first of all, that's a myth. Straight off the bat, healthy food. You could go to a grocer or you could go to a market, a wet market, and you could pick up a really good basket, a good kind of hoard of what I would call species appropriate food that is appropriate for human beings. Okay, so that's fruit, vegetables, meats, dairy, eggs, fish, things that we've been eating for thousands and hundreds of thousands of years that have helped us survive. They've developed our brains, they've developed our stature. Only in the last, say, 150 odd years, around about 150 odd years, has there been this kind of transition towards more processed food, industrially made food, foods that are they're derived from real food, but they're not actually real food. You mentioned some there, roti canai. What else? So they maybe have some remnants of real food, like white rice. In its whole form, it would have a husk, it would have more fiber, but when it's polished and it's refined, it becomes just starch and carbohydrate and sugar in the bloodstream. So it's not necessarily the food, it's what's done to the food. And so for me, how it applies to you as the normal everyday person and me is that we are all athletes, but we're not all in training. So when we say, oh, I'm just the normal person, you're normal as you want to be. You're as normal as you want to be. And I say to people, if you want to just be, kind of fit into the normal average kind of like lifestyle, you're going to get fat, you're going to get sick, you're going to complain, you're going to be miserable. That's okay. You do that, please. But if you're somebody who values your health, you're thinking, I don't want to be just like everybody else. So the normal person can go out there and choose to buy vegetables instead of going and paying, 10 ringgit for a dish that's been fried in unhealthy fats. It's got processed foods. It's got sugar in the sauces and marinades.
Can I eat that and exercise later?
Yeah, you can. But you can't outrun a bad diet.
Okay.
You could
Just try.
But this isn't about all or nothing. You can have those things, but you have those as a treat, or you have those as something you enjoy.
Balanced diet.
Yeah, so there's a difference between what your head likes and what your body needs.
It's the temptation, people.
So, Malaysia in particular, here in Malaysia, you're in
We
this
like sweets.
Yeah, you're in
We
this
like
food
sweets.
you're in this food coma, I think.
Yes.
You're trapped in this high carbohydrate, high sugar diet, and that's why there are estimated 7 million people with type 2 diabetes here, and half of those, or roughly half, are undiagnosed. Because people, they're more bothered about what food tastes like in the moment, the pleasure it gives them, the dopamine. They're not bothered about what it does to their body, and that's one of the issues, I think.
Pleasure first, pain later.
Yeah, and I think we're all stuck in that somehow. We all like instant reward.
Yeah.
But when it comes down the line and you see that, oh my goodness, your blood sugar's tanking, your energy's gone, your inflammation's there, you're starting to get heart disease, that's harder to come back.
Then, so Ricky, we are coming to the end of the show, and then it's time for you to shine.
Okay, so if you're thinking about actually making a change or an improvement to your health, obviously it's coming towards the end of 2025. The beginning of the year is that time when people tend to start thinking about leveling up their health. Then make sure you're working with people or a system or a program that can inspire you. And as an osteopath, naturopath, and fitness professional who specializes in metabolic health, residing here in Malaysia, I have an 8-week program called the Metabolic Health Reset, which incorporates exercise, stress resilience, sleep hygiene, mindset, and nutritional improvement. Now, it may sound quite intimidating, all of those things, but it is just a lifestyle strategy. It is not going to deprive you of all the things that you enjoy. It's just going to make it more strategic. So you can have the things that you want, but you can also experience the vibrancy and the vitality that you are aspiring to and maybe have struggled to achieve. So my advice is, be brave, be courageous, and think preventatively and think proactively rather than reactively, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And like I said, I reside here in Malaysia in Mont, Kiara, and the program is a hybrid program, which means it's an online platform and it's in person as well. So you get to work with me personally, and you get the accountability of an 8-week program that has an online food diary that gives you instant feedback. I analyze your blood tests. You can wear a continuous glucose monitor so that you have objective data to see how you react to food, to stress, to sleep, even to things like your everyday activities. You can see what's happening to your blood glucose. So there's lots of in-depth analysis and monitoring. And by the end of the program, it's not just 8 weeks, it's a blueprint for life. So by the time you finish, you will have your own personal instruction manual to make sure that your metabolic health thrives, to make sure that you live the most vibrant and energetic life that nature intended for you. So 2026 is around the corner, okay? You want to level up. You may be thriving in your business. You may be thriving in other areas of your life. Now it's time to level up with your health. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you for viewing. Please look out for our next episode, Fendi.
Yes, please subscribe, comment, like, and share Do Now Think Positive podcast. Bye.